Let's get a feel now of the mood in Zimbabwe ahead of next week's elections. Zimbabwe correspondent Hopewell Chin'ono joins me now on the line from Harare. A very good morning to you, Hopewell. Thanks again for joining us. Just describe to us the atmosphere on the streets of Zimbabwe in the build-up to the elections. Is it anxiety? Is it excitement? Is it both?
Good morning, Ayanda. I think it can be described as both anxiety and excitement. A lot of people are anxious about how the vote is going to take place. They have got the 2008 vote in mind, where people were beaten up, where there was violence. They are wondering whether the poll is going to be free of violence, whether it's going to be free of intimidation. In the cities, people seem to be going about their business in a normal way, but in the rural areas, there is an element of timidness. People are worried about whether they're going to be able to express their will without being coerced.
Less than a week to go till the polls, and we know campaigning has been fast and furious. Robert Mugabe was in Mutare not too long ago. Some fiery comments coming from him from that particular mining area. Take us through some of the controversy that surrounded his campaign so far.
President Mugabe, when he was in Mutare, caricatured the opposition, and specifically Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai, as somebody who was promoting homosexuality. Zimbabwe is a very conservative society where such practices are frowned upon. And the fact that they're frowned upon and the fact that the Prime Minister has been seen as somebody who has not been very specific about whether he's for or against homosexuality, President Mugabe has found it much easier to use that as a weapon to beat on his opponent.
Tell us a bit more about the MDC's campaign and whether or not Morgan Tsvangirai's personal life and the marriages has come up and affected his campaign at all?
They've mounted a very effective campaign, but it has been hampered by failure by the national broadcaster. In Zimbabwe, there's only one television station, and it is state-owned, and it has been showing President Mugabe's rallies, but it has not been giving and affording the same to other political parties. So that has been a big disadvantage for the MDC. And also, the political season comes with advertisements, political advertisements and endorsements, and a lot of them have been attacking have been attacking Prime Minister Tsvangirai's persona. He has been caricatured by ZANU-PF as an adulterer, somebody of loose morals, because of his past encounters with women, which were being put out there. And ZANU-PF is essentially saying, how can a country choose such a person of low morals?
Let's talk about the logistics now. As far as you know, what are you hearing about whether or not the Electoral Commission there is ready to host these elections?
Well, as you might have known, the Electoral Commission was responsible for running a special vote for members of the police force and soldiers, and it was so chaotic such that some of them were not even able to vote. The courts are going to determine today whether it's going to be a situation where those members are going to be allowed to vote again. And as such, a lot of people have been asking that, how can they be able to run an election when they failed to run an election of 89,000 people? How can they be able to run an election in a country where 6 million voters are registered to vote? But the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission said that they've learned their mistakes from the special vote, and they said they've distributed ballot papers into 6 of the 10 provinces. They said that they will allow voters to vote, even if it means going back to court to ask them to extend the times in which people are supposed to be voting.
Well, the clock is definitely ticking. The elections less than a week away.
News that moves. eNCA.com.